Hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing? Man, Antonelli here.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How we doing? Matt Antonelli here. So today I've got a question for everyone. Do you think that there will be a 400 hitter in the major leagues this season? Now, there hasn't been a 400 hitter in the major league since 1941. Ted Williams did it, one of the greatest hitters to ever live. Some will say he is the greatest hitter to ever live. He hit 406 that season. Again, that was a long time ago. The game was a lot different back then, okay? But this year, only a 60-game season. So, is there a possibility that somebody gets hot for 60 games and can do it? Let's look at some of these numbers. We're going to go back and look at some players since 1960 that through the first 60 games of the season were actually hitting over 400. All right, so let's check that list out right now. Okay, so here are some guys that, again, we're hitting over 400 through the team's first 60 games of the season since 1960. You have Chipper Jones in 2008 was hitting 409. He finished that season at 364. Then in 1997, you've got Larry Walker. He was hitting 417. He finished that year hitting 366. You've got Tony Gwynn in 1997 as well, hitting 403 through the first 60 games. He finished that year at 372. You've got Paul O'Neill, 1994, hit 417 through the first 60 games. He finished at 359. Also had one of the greatest kicks of all time from right field. If you haven't seen that, you must go back and watch that. Just find it online. Just type in Paul O'Neill kicks the ball home or something like that. It's incredible. And then you've got Rod Carew, Hall of Famer Rod Carew, 1983. Put if you know what song that's in. Rod Carew, 1983, hit 411 through his team's first 60 games. He finished the year hitting 339. So it's definitely interesting to see what those guys were hitting through 60 games and then where they finished, right? They ended up, pretty much every single one of them dropped pretty considerably from that first 60 games. But, obviously the shorter the season, the easier it is for somebody to get hot and then to stay hot for long enough that they're able to hit over 400. Do you think someone's going to do it? I think, the easy answer is no, just because it is so extremely difficult to hit 400 even through 60 games. There's been very, very few people that have ever done it through 60 games. And so it'll be interesting. Now this year is going to be interesting in a bunch of different ways because players have been off for a long time now, right? So who's going to have the advantage? Pitchers, typically pitchers are ahead of hitters. Now, is it even more so because there's been even a longer period of time where hitters have been able to hit live pitching? The one thing about pitching is that typically, like, to get ready to pitch, you just really need a mound and a catcher, right? And you can get ready. You can throw your bullpens. I know it won't simulate the game exactly, but you can get pretty close to ready. As a hitter, it's very hard, like during quarantine when hitters were not able to really do anything, a lot of players that were just stuck in their homes, it's hard to stay game ready or anywhere close to that because you can't just like call up your neighbor and be like, hey man, can you socially distance with me and throw me some 98 mile an hour BP with heavy sink and maybe like a 91 mile an hour slider to get me ready for the season. So that's really difficult. So the game could be sloppy at the beginning. And so I'm really interested to see how the beginning of the season goes. Now, at the same time, hitters, right? Most hitters should be able to stay, and it will be probably the same for pitchers, but hitters should be able to hopefully stay a little bit more healthy because they don't have to make it through such a long season. And so maybe players, don't have to really pace themselves as much, and maybe that helps them. Both offensively and on the mound. There's so many different ways that this could go. Some people are saying that pitchers are going to get hurt more because they're not going to be as ready. Other people are saying they're going to pitch more and they should be fine because they're rested and it's a short season. It's a sprint, not a marathon. So I guess you could look at it in 1,000 different ways, but it will be interesting nonetheless to see how things go. If I have to guess, again, the easy answer is no. There's not going to be somebody that hits 400, but let me know what you think in the comment section below. And if you had to pick one player that could do it, who would it be? Who would that player be? Put in the comment section below. Thanks so much. I'm super excited to see what happens here starting up. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks. Opening day technically is less than 2 weeks away, so let's get pumped up for it. Hope everyone's doing well. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. Give it a thumbs up. Thank you to our patrons on Patreon for supporting the channel. That's all we have. We'll talk to you later.